提起2016大选，除了希拉蕊和川普，你可能没有听说过的另一号新闻人物是克里斯多夫·苏普林。
I assume this election was over and that Trump won, and you're saying no.
That's correct. December 19th is when the election actually happens.
Right.
I'm actually surprised you didn't know that, but that's when electors actually cast their ballots. And that's when we will find out who is president.
For more, we're going to Dallas, Texas, where we're joined by Christopher Suprin. His piece, Why I Will Not Cast My Electoral Vote for Donald Trump, appeared in the New York Times Monday. Christopher Suprin, welcome to Democracy Now! So talk about how you came to this decision.
Well, painfully, I intended to support the nominee, but unfortunately, Mr. Trump has proven again and again he is not qualified for the office.
I'm Christopher Suprin. I'm the Texas Congressional District 30 Electoral College member, and I am not casting my vote for Donald Trump.
身为德州共和党党部推派的选举人，却违反党的指示和历来不成文约定，在选举人团投票时，把票投给共和党总统候选人川普以外的第三人。苏普林这个失控的选举人，在2016年那场原以空前混乱的大选终局里，一下子又把美式民主总统选举选举人团制度里的种种不合理之处，通通倾洒到了台面上。美国总统竟然不是直选。
I vote today for Hillary Rodham Clinton.
选举人团又是什么组织？所谓选举人，只是传达选民意志的橡皮图章，还是有权行使自己的投票意愿？而如果他们能有自己的意愿，选民的意志又算什么？换个角度想，如果他们毫无个人意志，那么设立这个中介机构又有何意义可言？一连串的问题必须要从美国的建国历程和立宪宗旨来寻找答案。
The Electoral College is a sort of glued together solution to a problem that the founders, that the people who were at the Constitutional Convention couldn't really solve. They didn't want the people to elect the president because they didn't think that the country, again, in 1787 is very, very divided. There's no sort of national politics, properly speaking. And so it wasn't clear that you could basically ask ordinary people in the street in all of the different parts of the state. They might even not know of the same people, right?
对于生长在民主环境下21世纪的年轻一代，自己的总统自己选，就像是呼吸、喝水或太阳从东边升起一样的自然且颠扑不破。但要了解美国选举人团的制定理念，必须要回到1787年，想象当时的时空背景。事实上，在当年全球还没有任何一个国家是以直选方式来产生国家领导人。由于交通工具和传播技术远远不如今日的迅速发达，美国开国元勋从一开始就没考虑过要让一般老百姓同时一起参与全国性的投票。然而，与会代表又不希望被冠上小圈圈政治、容易腐败的罪名，因此他们便在直接民主和间接民主之间想出了一个折中方案。
The Constitution sets up the Electoral College, and it assigns a certain number of electoral votes to each state. There's a total of 538 of them, and the presidential electors meet in mid-December after the people vote in November, and they're the ones who actually elect the president.
435. Which is the number of representatives in the House of Representatives, plus 100, which is the number of senators, plus 3, which is representation for Washington, D.C.
This was actually a compromise. There was a big fight inside the convention. They worked out a compromise. They had to work out a compromise because otherwise, many of the states would never have agreed to ratify the Constitution and become part of the United States of America.
相对于现代民主，彰显的是选民个人意志。美国的总统选制更在意的是维护州的意志，这一点从选举人票数的配额上就可以看出端倪。除了按照人口分配的435张票之外，美国的50州每一州无论幅员大小、人口多寡，都可以无条件配得2张选举人票。这样的计算公式源自于联邦制的背景，是为了让各 据山头的各州代表都同意加入美利坚联邦的必要交换条件，但这也意味着在里安、断北山故事发源地的怀俄明州，由于地广人稀，每个乡村居民对国家领导人的选拔可以产生相当于18万分之一的影响力。反观加州，由于人口稠密，选举人配额却未随之等比例递增，因此每个加州居民仅能够分得71万分之一的发言权。听惯了现代民主一人一票、票票等值的基本大原则，不难想象有越来越多的华府政治人物和基层选民对于宪法设计里仍然残留着18世纪末古董思维、衍生票票不等值的选举弊病已经再难忍受，前仆后继跳出来主张应该废除或改良选举人团制度。
You know, come a general election, presidential candidates don't come to places like Mississippi.
That's true.
Yeah. They also don't come to places like California and Massachusetts, right? Because we're not the battleground states. Well, my view is that every vote matters. And the way we can make that happen is that we can have national voting, and that means get rid of the Electoral College and every vote.
In fact, Indiana Senator Birch Bayh, who just last week died at age 91, came within a few votes of advancing an amendment to abolish the Electoral College and replace it with a direct popular vote. By 1968, his effort commanded 80% approval, according to Gallup. 1 year later, the House of Representatives voted overwhelmingly to abolish the Electoral College. Even President Nixon was on board, but was filibustered to death in the Senate by Southerners led by Strom Thurmond.
从1800年到2016年，超过2个世纪的时间里，美国国会议员前后曾经提出超过800份修宪案，试图修改或废除选举人团这个让直接民主如鲠在喉的技术障碍。事实上，在2016年大选之前，不只是希拉蕊一再公开点名选举人团不合时宜，应予废除，就连他的对手川普也曾经批评此一制度是民主灾难，直到开票结果证明了这一套陈旧的制度正好是对共和党有利，可以把它送进白宫。
The Associated Press is calling Wisconsin, so that puts him over the top. Donald Trump is the next president of the United States.
2016年大选中，普选票与选举人票开出不同结果的乱象，还暴露出深埋在选举人团制度里另一个选务地雷，那就是类似克里斯托夫·苏普雷这样虽是政党推派的代表，却表明不想投给政党候选人的选举人，会不会让一场已经翻盘的选举又再一次翻盘，让总统选举成为莫衷一是的闹剧，引爆难以收拾的宪法危机。
Most states have laws that bind electors to cast their vote according to the popular vote in their state. If they don't, they can be replaced or punished with a fine. But some states do allow for what's called faithless electors, and they can vote for whomever they want, regardless of how their state voted on election day.
Now, these faithless electors are pretty rare. There have only been about 160 in history, and they have never flipped the outcome of an election. To have upended Trump's victory this year, it would have taken 37 electors to change their votes, and that didn't happen.
纽约客近日发表一篇评论，追究制宪渊源，指出当年美国南方州的制宪代表是以没有投票权的黑奴来膨胀人口数字，扩张南方州选举人票数配额，才造成了总统选举长期以来偏袒乡村、保守派和白人选民的不平等现象。而今，由于多数美国黑人和少数族群都是聚居在加州、纽约这些选举人票被人口稀释的大州，又形同是对这些传统上民主党的支持者一种无形的权力剥削。修宪茲事体大，击毙一朝难改。可以预见的是，华府朝野和民间针对选举人团制度的改革声浪持续失控，和司法诉讼未来只会越演越烈。